Assalamualaikum and a very good morning. So today we will present on the bank reconciliation and doubtful debt of Prosy Garment Sundar Berhad. So the first working paper that we did is test of control for cash and bank transactions. The audit objective that we would like to achieve are completeness, accuracy, and existence. We have 6 different samples, and the basis of sample selection is randomly picked balance in the bank reconciliation. So every of the sample consists of closing balance of bank reconciliation, and it has been approved the closing balance as at bank statement and the total amount. So the audit procedure for all of the samples are check whether the balance of the bank reconciliation statement is tally or not, and secondly, trace to bank reconciliation and bank statement from payment voucher. Thirdly, recompute the total amount in the bank reconciliation with referring to payment voucher to test accuracy and existence. So the recomputation that I've done is by using the function of Microsoft Excel or Google Sheet, and it is found that the amount here and between my recomputation is matched. So the audit tick marks, I will explain it. The amount agreed, the audit tick marks indicates that the amount agreed with the amount in between bank reconciliation and bank statement and recomputation is accurate. In conclusion, all the cash and bank balances transactions for bank reconciliation is operating properly and has met the audit objectives of completeness, accuracy, and existence. Therefore, the control of the company is good on bank reconciliation. Moving on to substantive testing for cash and bank transactions for both of the banks, the audit objective are the same as the previous one, which are completeness, accuracy, and existence. So we have 7 different samples, and the basis of sample selection is based on payment voucher transaction value in bank reconciliation based on maturity level above 10,000. If we want to have more samples, we will need to lower our maturity level maybe to 5,000, and every sample has its own account number, check number, payment voucher, the total amount, and between the check number and the payment voucher, we can see that the amount is stated here, and the quantity is matched between both source documents, and also matched with general ledger in the credit column. As for remarks, every account agreed to a check number and payment voucher for transaction and is tally. Every account in the ledger agreed to the amount in the payment voucher and have been cross-referenced. The third remarks, every account in the ledger agreed and matched with bank reconciliation transactions under unpresented check. Okay, now we will see the bank reconciliation statement for People Bank. We have 5 different audit ticks in the bank reconciliation. And then for Rich Bank, we have 1 additional audit ticks, and all of the audit ticks I will explain it later. So the remarks for the audit ticks, the red colored ticks indicates that the check has been received in general ledger. The blue colored tick is tallied with payment voucher documents. The black colored tick indicates that it is tallied with general ledger and trial balance. The red colored column indicates that the payment has not been made up until February Y027. The black colored star indicates that the sample is above maturity level. And last but not least is the green circle, indicates that it is tallied with closing balance in the bank statement. In conclusion, The 7 samples that has been chosen met all the audit objectives, which are completeness, accuracy, and existence. Therefore, no exception needed for bank reconciliation. However, the two transactions in statement of bank reconciliation for each bank are insignificant because the transactions are below the maturity level, which is 10,000. The last part is schedule cash and bank balances for both of the bank. The remarks. Every account starting with per general ledger at the beginning of the year with its current year adjustments are agreed to the final balance in the current year. So the per general ledger is the balance as at early of the year, and we will have to go through the adjustments, which is the cash inflow and the cash outflows, and then the final figure, which is the balance as at year end. That's all for bank reconciliation. We will move to doubtful debt. Thank you.
Now I'm going to present about doubtful debt for receivables. The first audit procedure that we do for doubtful debt for receivables is a preliminary checking, where we check the existence and completeness of doubtful debt account. We could not find any doubtful debt account presented in Statement of Financial Position of Prozi Garment, hence we can move on to our next procedure. Our next procedure is to perform the computation on estimated doubtful debt value to identify accuracy and valuation. The computation of doubtful debt account are based on the account receivable aging method, where we assign a percentage to each aging category based on the likelihood to collect receivables from customer. We can see from this table that we have segregated the age of receivables for current, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, and above 5 months. Then we assign the percentage of these total receivables not being collected by each month. For 1 month, we have 1%. For 2 months, we have 4%. For 3 months, we have 10%. For 4 months, we don't have any percentage assigned because there is no receivables aging 4 months for Prozi Garment. For above 5 months, we estimate that 40% of the total receivables will not be collected. Then we multiply the percentage of not being collected with the total receivables, and we have the total doubtful debt amounted to 176,588 ringgit and 70 cents. The estimated doubtful debt is that amount out of around 1,300,000 of receivables. We can see that uncollected receivables for above 5 months constitutes the largest portion of total receivables, which is around 27.69% of total receivables. For receivables aging 1 and 2 months, we have assigned a lower percentage of them not being collected because we assume that the customer may settle that during this period soon. And this is also contributed by Prozi, who has a reputation of not issuing invoices promptly, which resulted to customers' late payment and customers have to pay penalty. We can also see from this table that there is no receivables aging 4 months, where we can interpret that as Prozi's efficiency in collecting their receivables 4 months prior. As a conclusion, we can conclude that there is no doubtful debt account that is presented in Statement of Financial Position or Profit or Loss for year Y026. We can also confirm that the computation of doubtful debt based on aging receivables percentage that we have done is reasonable. Our next step is to advise the company that they should include their doubtful debt in their financial statement, as there is always a risk of uncollected debts. By taking this risk into account, we can then give reasonable assurance that their trade receivables value is true and fair, in line with audit objectives, which are existence, completeness, accuracy, and valuation.